Slate and Tux were all on the platform. Tux is working on waking up and trying to figure out where I set his dry chow. It's actually on the other side behind him. They're doing good. They're all together. That's what's most important. And they haven't been run off of their platform, which is where they prefer to hang. So Morris and Marty are up the hill. Stripe is in his private feeding location. Feels nice out here this morning. There's actually just a hint of cool in the air. I like it. It's going to be nice for our walk. The sun's coming up. Guess we're going to see some sun today. I think we're moving toward a slightly drier trend. Since it's Sunday morning, I have a few extra minutes and the other guys aren't down here yet. Do you want to go? There's my boy. I suspect on the way back up I'll have some other cats to deal with, but if Tux and I can even have a few minutes, even a half a driveway, he's going to stop to use the bathroom now. This is his pattern. You don't need to see that. So pretty. For erosion purposes, we don't want to cut that grass really back much more, or I could come down with the weed eater, but I got to be careful not to damage it. Right down in there is where we saw the possums that one morning. I don't see them right now. Hi. Good boy this morning. Good boy. Good boy. There's my bud. Oh. I see Slate behind us. As soon as he sees her, he's going to get distracted. And that's okay. That's all part of the morning game walk. Willie lay chase. If she moves again, probably. He's made it to the stairs. Yay! Oh, he sees something. What does he see? Maybe one of the other kitties was under the step, because that's where he went, or the platform part here, that's where he went. Yeah, I see Gray or Slate is underneath. And he's playing hide and go seek, aren't you? Hi, bud. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. No, you're going to go that way? What's that way? Follow Mama. Come on. You know I don't like to leave you behind up here this far away from the house. But I get it. Someone was under the platform. Just chased her out from underneath the stairs, and she didn't go too far, but I have a feeling if I don't want to leave them up here, I'd better go retrieve them myself. He's so cute when he runs. He doesn't run a lot, but when he runs, he's so cute. Slate's in the woods. She'll walk down over there. I'm not too worried about her. More worried about him, or the two of them together, running unpredictably who knows where. Oh man, I thought deer didn't eat begonias. That's mean. I can get the one on this side a little bit, but not as much. That's mean. You got a stick? I have yet to look down here and see any butterflies. The purple one is blooming up by the garage, and that's my favorite color to shoot photographs on. He's up underneath there now. I'm not too worried about that. He's safely into the part of the yard that I don't worry. He'll come when he's ready now. Besides, with the other cats not settled at the backyard, if he stays in the front playing for a few minutes, that's not so bad. Hey, Stripey! He goes, if you would give me a heads up, Mom, I would go on the walk too. Here's the first lily opened. Well, the hydrangea blooms last a long time, and I think they look pretty even after they dry out. A little tip, if your neighbor has one and you want some, get a longish limb and put it on the ground. Loosen up some dirt on the ground, set it down, and cover it with a rock or some more dirt so it'll stay in contact with the ground. It'll root, and 3, 6, 9 months, whenever you have time, go back and cut it and then dig it up with the root part, and you'll have your own hydrangea tree. And they're very easy to, I think the right word is propagate. Hey, Gray. Hi. Hi, Stripe. Let's go. Well, I wasn't quick enough with the camera to get them, but Stripe was 15 feet up the sweet gum tree over there, the one that has two main trunks going up. And it is still feeling really nice out here this morning. I'm pleased. I don't know how many more days we can be so lucky to have like this in June, but I'll take it. Definitely will take it. Don had the garage doors open this morning to let the heat out and the cool in. Doesn't really work super well if we don't put a fan on, but it's a little bit. Thank you.
You're welcome, pretty girl.
Yeah, like Don said, if they would at least pop the door. Doesn't even have to actuate, push out all the way, but if they would at least pop it,
right,
that would be so helpful. I guess normally you'd want to know the state guy trooper was behind you, but it would also be cute if it identified him in front of you too. We were involved in talking, and I almost made Don start his walk without his...
Look, I wasted 4 feet. Look from how far I am back here.
It's a little bright out here today, and we don't know if there is or isn't shade on this part of the trail or most of the trail or whatever, so Don has put on his hat just to be sure. So I noticed when we drove past that there was a blue stripe across the direction I knew the blue trail to go. That's like a 0.6 mile trail. It's really short. And here's red. So I don't see a map directory like telling us what the trails are or which way to head, but I do see at least a little color coding on the ground to give us an inkling. So we wanted to do red. Like I said, the yellow trail is across the street. So Don said the main thing here was that, you know, all the houses are still around. Well, that just goes to trash, so that can't be where we're going. You know, all the houses are still around the golf course, but the homeowners, you know, they all bought these houses thinking they would be living on the green on the golf course for forever. And now the houses are still there, but the golf course is gone. And that was what the big stink was. I'm guessing that over there may have a map in front of us. That's not where we want to go, but let's see if it has a map. Just out of curiosity. We're supposed to go this way. It's only a few extra steps, Donnie.
Costing me, girl.
I'm adding. I'm not costing, I'm adding. You know how I am. I always got to add on. Yeah, this is basically the map I saw online. You are here. I don't know where the approved get across the street spot is. I guess closer to the entrance over here where that stop sign is in the distance. But anyway, all right. Red trail, here we come. It's just called red. There's no fancy name.
The map wasn't what I call highly detailed, but I believe all this is trying to do is the fork. You're going to go out this way and come back there. This is the Y, but this is a big loop.
It is. They're both loops, which is nice. I like loops.
It doesn't matter if you go to the right or the left. Whichever way you go, you're going to end up back here.
Okay. Well, we'll understand after we do it one time the subtle differences. It's kind of like Raven Rock. There's a couple places you can pick up the trail. Some are better than others, and you really don't understand that until you've walked it a few times. Look at that sky. I'm liking this view.
Yeah, they've taken out the greens. They're not maintaining them. They've dug them up, scraped them, or whatever.
That's a putting surface up there.
Well, that costs all the money to keep up.
Right. Here's a second entrance to the neighborhood, which I guess I didn't know about, but doesn't do you any good because there's no parking at this entrance. So this trail is obviously not as nice as the just paved trail over there where we were walking yesterday in North-South Lakes, but it's still plenty nice enough. And you know, if they were going to redo this versus do something else new out here, I would vote for do something new. I don't know what that new would be, but this is totally good. It's just not brand new. It's just been here. Don says this is where the golf carts used to go, and I get that. It looks looks like the town's doing a great job of keeping it mowed. Sorry for the wind. It's pretty windy, which is good for us on our walk, and now we're in some nice shade too, so I'm liking this. Although we're headed down, and you know what that might mean. Where there's a down, there's always an up. Yeah, I mean, these are the little things you learn after you do it once or twice. Which is the more favorable direction, which gets you in the sun sooner? Is there a shelter along the way should it rain? It's all the kind of things you really can't know about a trail until you walk it a time or two. And I've looked at the trail guides, these apps and stuff, and they still never tell me what I want to know. I'm glad we're going down this one too. It's pretty steep. It's like our driveway. Well, I guess time will tell with all of these berries I'm seeing on these trails if I'm going to be motivated to try to pick any for our once a year. Because Don and I are all about in-season stuff, grown local. So if you can go out and pick some blackberries and do something with them, I would have some maple syrup to sweeten them up to how I could handle them. We'll see. You do come away with irritated, dyed blue fingers when you go for blackberry picking. Oh, there's a hill on the other side.
I don't know if it's quite.
Right.
That was one of those when you actually had to hold yourself back walking down.
Right, not to stumble forward. It was so steep, yes. Well, I am appreciative that there are trash cans and benches along the path. I think that's a good thing. I can imagine sitting there and deer coming out at dusk. Maybe there's an owl watching a hawk. I mean, I can see where that would be cool. Oh wow, we've got to the end of the... Yeah. Well, it's no biggie. I wasn't a complaint. I just was a little surprised. Right, there was a putting surface there. It's gone now. Don and I have a good friend that golfs often and lives in a golf course community, but Don is mostly gone to watch golf and enjoys watching golf while he's napping, not playing. And I don't think I've ever been, not even in a golf cart, around a golf course with anybody while they were playing, so I know nothing. I see golf clubs for sale at Guardian Angel. If you need to pick up some clubs for a kid starting out, you probably could get a good deal at Guardian Angel. Well, I'm impressed. There's the bathroom. Don says they must have been here when the golf course was here, but still, like I said, Lake Johnson is a 3-mile path and there's no bathroom on that trail at all. And I have found that before to be problematic. And one reason above, not enough parking at Lake Johnson to avoid that spot in Raleigh, southeast Raleigh. That pond water looks really yucky. Stirred up from the rain and or not enough turnover of water, too still, too stagnant. Well, here's the view from the bridge, looking back toward the bathroom. Personally can tell they've sprayed some herbicide along the bank to keep it from growing up, and I don't like that. Not chemicals near water. Even if you can't swim or fish there, there's still wildlife that makes use of that. I don't know. I can just tell they've done that there. That's not brown naturally like that along the side. Well, this water spot is a lot prettier with this pretty purple flower. I used to know what that was called. I used to have some of it in my pond at the house in Willow Spring, but I don't remember. It's a pretty common pond plant, water plant. Don points out that that's a sand trap, and I agree. Wow, it's so nice and open out here. I like it. Yeah, well, I've never walked a golf course or been on a golf cart on a golf course or... Yeah. There were 2 ways straight ahead that we could have gone maybe back to the parking lot sooner, but we are still on the red trail. And there's just this little extra swiggle back here. And Don says we're going to full course. I'm hoping the other way out is not quite so steep, because one of those was like, wow, if I wanted to walk a hill that steep, I'd have just walked the driveway. Well, there's a great blue heron over there. I don't carry my camera, my big camera, for two reasons. The main reason is my arm, chest, whatever, I can't take the weight right now, the 70D, it's too heavy. It stays in the car, which is almost always air conditioned or in the garage, and you know, I do use it, but I'm not gonna walk 2 miles with it around my neck. I did that one time in the last week and it was too much. And the other reason is, you know, Don's out here to exercise with me. I can't be stopping for 15 minutes. Now, if we were on a 5-mile hike and we were gonna take a nice rest halfway, that might be different, but he'd end up carrying it and that's not fair. But I still enjoy seeing him. I would love to have had his picture. He's not very afraid of me, and I could probably get pretty close for a good picture of him. So that little loop down there was just where one other green was. Don says up straight where we didn't go is like, it's gonna rain, we need to get off the golf course, let's go now. And we're actually still on the full 2.1 mile red trail. I'd say, you know, I wouldn't want to walk this at 12 or 1 in the afternoon, but we've had some shade on it. And given that we have a breeze and it is still like 9:30 in the morning, it's not too bad out here. But Don did good wearing his hat. And I suppose on a slightly hotter, less breezy day, I would probably wear a hat too, which I did not do today. Sun.
Yeah, there's my girl.
Really nice breeze.
Yeah.
Donnie, relaxing Sunday morning. Very few people out here. We've seen like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, well, it's a long. I mean,
Yeah,
this is one of those that, you know, it's another one of those. If you're going for 2 miles. You're not going for, well, I don't know, maybe that shortcut we saw, you could cut it down to 1.5 miles or something like that.
Right. I think you can make it a little. You want to swing this way?
Thank you. Well, I'm actually watching the viewfinder
to see where you got to go.
Yeah, because the road, yeah, I understand.
Thank you for bringing me here. I'm loving a new spot, and if Don will turn and face forward, we'll see the clubhouse.
Oh, right.
And how close we are to the end of the course.
Right.
Of course, it's uphill.
All uphill.
But that's all right. I got it in me this morning.
That's right.
My heart got up to 164 coming up that steep, you know what hill. And Don was holding my hand, helping to pull me a little bit. That's pretty steep, and here we go again. Yeah. That's a little walk. Of course, we did have the down basically on the other side that was pretty equivalent, so.
Well, I got sad news for you. It ain't stopped going up. It's just this, it's not quite as steep.
Okay. Wow. I like a challenge though. I don't shy away from no challenge, and I won't be beat.
She, no, she's a kick butt girl.
Yes, indeedy, as Don said, this is the start and the end of the loop. I only had 1.9 miles. I told him I wasn't stopping yet. If I could talk him into it, we'd do the Blue Trail loop too.
Today. Gotta save it for next week.
No, the little short 0.6 mile Blue Trail. Not the trail on the other side. I don't want to do another 2 miles.
I guess we can do the 0.6.
It's only 0.6. Don ran up that last little bit of hill to the stop sign. He did really good. He sprinted. I'm very proud of him. I couldn't have done that. Yeah, see, I mean, look how small it is. The Blue Trail. Yeah. It's just this little thing.
It's probably
0.6. That's all right. But it's only 0.6. I can handle it. 2 miles, 47 minutes, 146 beats per minute, and coming down from that 160-ish uphill climb. Making sure nothing's coming, looking both ways. Surprised they didn't paint pedestrian crosswalk. I mean, not that everybody doesn't know, but really probably that's cheap. I would probably say that we need to add that.
Now that it's a pedestrian crosswalk versus a vehicle.
Right. Well, even then, the golf course up in Garner near the SPCA where it crosses Tryon Road. They have a very clearly designated walkway there. Ah, shade, breeze. Ah.
Yeah.
Don's letting his head air out.
Yeah. I have broken sweat going up that.
Yeah, this hat is from Head Sweats. It's a brand and it's sweat absorbing, but it's also, he usually uses it only if it's raining on his run to help keep the water out of his eyes.
Yeah.
The Blue Trail. Well, other than a better pedestrian crosswalk at both entrances and maybe labeling this path here is a shortcut back to the beginning and not really part of the red trail, that's the only thing I would change about what I've seen so far today. We're about halfway around on the Blue Trail. It's a little jut out and a little jut back in, and this is where we start the jut back in. And this corner here in the shade is, so relaxing. I think that was the last major hill. And we're even gonna finish off in the shade over here until we get to the parking lot where the car is. All right, we're back to the trailhead for blue, red, and really even yellow. You gotta cross over there. I wonder if the clubhouse sometime, if they'll open it up as a wedding venue or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
I could certainly see them doing that. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's got a full kitchen.
All right, what's the mileage?
2.92 miles an hour, 2 minutes, 16 seconds.
And yours doesn't give heart rate that way.
No.
Mine is an hour and 2 minutes, 47 seconds, 2.7 miles and 143 beats per minute right now.
Sounds great.
I have 7,377 steps, and I did have it on while I walked, well, I did walk tucks to the end of the driveway and back this morning, but while I was taking care of feeding this morning. So that's usually somewhere between 500 and 800 steps. So it won't be, it's never any problem to pick up 300 incidental steps doing the afternoon cat feeding and cooking. So I'll be fine on my 10,000 step goal. My rings are
yellow there.
Yep, there's the yellow over there. I would say it may be more in the sun.
I would agree.
But we'll probably do it one time just for grins.
Yeah, we should.
Maybe on a day too where we don't get out in the morning, but we get out in the afternoon, late, supper time. Don let me run into Walmart for a few items. Cat food, cat litter, more cat food, and several other things. He's up here on the hill. He hasn't seen me yet. He tells me I can text him. And normally I just start walking, and if he sees me, great, and if not, I get a little more exercise. He did drop me off at the door on the way, so. Plus I have a substantial amount of stuff to load up right now. I'm just gonna, hello. So Don and I are in Jules. We're going to go for a little bit of a drive. He asked me if Durham was open or Siler City was open. And I said, I don't know. I figured sometimes they come online and they don't show up in the cars yet during like the initial testing phase or whatever. I am not showing that either of those, because here's Siler City. Nothing showing up yet. And oh, this is the Cary Supercharger, number 7.
Right.
So Durham is not online either. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to say that neither one of those are online, at least not officially. But we're gonna take a drive, and we'll probably end up in Siler City, and maybe we'll end up down in Sanford, and we're just gonna get out for a bit. So come along with us. Don's having a little fun on autopilot today. I guess there's a guy in a Mercedes behind us and he was getting 55 mile an hour. He was pretty close, so Don upped it a bit. And then of course, yeah, there's a lot of sun contrast out here today. We had one obviously false forward collision warning event. We figure it was the sun confused the car for a split second. No braking, no emergency braking, but she was beeping. Don's like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Oh, how I wish I could take my grandfather, my mom's father, my pop for a ride in this car, because I'll never forget the Gran Torino. Your door is ajar. Your door is ajar. That car drove him nuts. I'm surprised, being the smart guy that he was, him and my dad didn't figure out how to disable that speaker thing, because that car drove him nuts.
Right.
I'm noticing some of the, I don't think these are Turk lilies, but the orange day lilies along the side of the road. I forget what they're called in the central part of the state, the ones that grow as wildflowers. I've noticed several stands of them today. That's really nice. I was wishing some of those trails we've been on would, you can see them here on the right a little bit, mixed in with the grass. I really hate it if they come mow the grass before they're done flowering. I've seen that happen before and I just want to go shake someone. I was like, couldn't you have waited 2 weeks until they were done flowering? It's the most beautiful thing this road sees at any time during the year. Don't mow them over. But oh no, guys in their mowers. And yes, I'm sure it was a guy. That pothole took Don out of autopilot. He put it back in. Oh, bikers out here enjoy. I can't say that I blame them. It's only 83 out here.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Sunny Sunday. I can't blame them at all for being out here enjoying the day. And these are some roads over here with some curves and not a ton of traffic, so I get it. I get it for that reason too. Can't compete with the tail of the dragon, but you know. It was funny, there was a diva that was vacationing in North Carolina and went on the tail of the dragon, and she had a few, she thought it was exhilarating, maybe that's the word we should use. It's funny to hear about people being over there after, you know, once you've been in the car with Kyle and done a little bit of drifting, it's, you know, the tail of the dragon is, yeah, it's fun. But, yeah. I would get in the car with Kyle again in a heartbeat if we were going to go out and drift on the track. I wouldn't even hesitate. I don't even care if I have a few sore muscles the next day. I don't care. I just want to drift and not be the one driving. You're going to be too kind. You're just too kind. It's not. It's a Chrysler.
It's a Chrysler. Oh my God. If I'd have known that, I would have sped up for sure and never let him pass me.
You were too kind.
Well, I can only do 60.
Right, your drive safe and save is keeping you, you're not going to hit 100 on this one. mile an hour with those seams in the bridge is, yeah, and these performance tires. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Well, here we are at the Sanford Harbor Freight. I guess I'm getting some more Lego bins. I didn't ask Don to come today for bins, but I'm not going to go inside near the bins and not get bins.
I picked up a bin thing that must have weighed, what, 80 pounds?
Right, that thing I brought home from Guardian Angel the other day. Yeah, you figuring I'm needing a few more.
I'm figuring she's going to want bins. I tell you, I wish I would invest in stock in that bin making company.
We're going to have to ask, although usually in the past when we've asked, they've had some just not out on the shelf. Yeah, I had Don lift that tub up onto the bed for me yesterday, that big bin from Guardian Angel, and I had already removed some stuff out of it, and yeah, it was pretty heavy. Johnny and I struggled to get it in the house by ourselves the other day. It was...
Legos, they add up.
They do. So they were $2 off a bin today, so that was good. We got 6 of them. I think we said that. I told Don we should try the frunk. He may have a history of putting them in the back and then moving around during our journey, so.
Yeah, well, the other thing is I got to practice my pay, tap and pay on my Google Pay.
Yeah, you know, these old farts in this new technology. You resemble that remark?
Absolutely.
I don't know. Will they all fit in there?
No, we'll find out.
I'm going to say...
Maybe this way?
That's what I was thinking. But I don't know with the way the lid, the thing comes in there.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. I don't know.
No, it's too high in the front by a lot. So my idea of coming in the front, coming in the front was not good. They're not going to all fit. We could put 4 of them up there. I don't think it's nice. Okay. Made me nervous. I wouldn't have pushed on it. So we're on 421 headed north towards Greensboro, but we're headed to Siler City. We'll get off in Siler City and then we'll come in the back way from there to get back home. We're gonna go check on the progress of the supercharger. Now that we know it's a dropped-in slab one, we'll look at it with a slightly different perspective than when we stopped in the other day. Not to mention I wasn't feeling good that day and we were a little distracted. It looks about the same as the last time we were here. They haven't paved yet.
Yeah.
Being wired is great, but if you can't access the charger because it's not paved. Well, it wasn't online. We weren't really expecting it to be online. We thought maybe it would be paved.
Right. Well, you could argue that's basically all it's kind of really waiting on.
Yeah. Really hasn't changed, except for there was all these warning sign was like right in here and it's gone. Yeah, the yellow tape's gone. I don't know exactly why, since it's not any less hazardous this week than it was last time. I guess I'll do a better job over here though of showing you this lip. Maybe. And I understand they're gonna come in and do the asphalt on this seam here. Right, this is the line we were talking about. When they've dropped in this slab, it's got the 4 chargers and the electrical box. It's exactly what they showed being delivered to Giga Texas. And I think it's great. I'm just a little worried about where the curb and the slab meet. So Don says it's actually not wired at all to the transformer over here. There's just those caps on the end. It doesn't really look wired up.
Yeah. I mean, they may have ran them a different way, but if something tells me that that would be the way they would do it if they were going to do it. Of course, those could be going to the next slab or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they got something going in the ground here.
Yeah. Okay, so that part is wired. So those conduits must be going to the next slab. If you had
Sure.
another slab.
Tesla, made in the USA, baby. Woo! Don asked me if this was here last time. I'm like, oh no, you were the one inspecting the electrical stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm thinking it wasn't there last time, because I'm thinking...
Well, you walked around back here. I remember seeing you walk across. But you know what's different? We looked like up on the hill. There were all those flags up there last time. And you said, yeah, but they haven't done any digging. And now we're out here this time and you can see they've done all this digging.
Okay, so that wasn't there.
So they have done stuff since we were here. That's been 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know what the plan is for there, but That's kind of, again, you can see the prefab slab here from the side really well now. Yeah, Don says this is where they brought the electricity in. Last time this was just a bunch of flags up here. It hadn't been dug up. Don was trying to figure out where the electricity was coming from, and we never did come to a conclusion. Now we know it came from over here. I don't know what that building is where he's going, but guess there's no reason I can't follow him. It's dried out over here now. Today, the top of the ground anyway is dry.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and they're gonna put a pole, maybe 2 poles, another pole up there. You see way up there,
The
at
street.
the street, that's the 3-phase, probably 56 kilovolts. They're gonna run that down here, and then these wires here, the reason they're coiled up and so long is because they're gonna run up that pole 20 feet, 25 feet, wherever that connection is going to be made up on the top of the power pole, and it's going to run down the power pole. You can see the plastic cover on that one up there. On
Yeah,
that pole.
running up the
There
pole.
will be a similar situation here. So that's what's going to do. So they're going to probably put at least, well, obviously there'll be a pole right here, but there's probably going to be another pole between here and there. That's a pretty far span.
Yeah.
It would sag down too far. They don't want it to sag that far. So that's my guess, is that they got to put the pole in. So it's other than the paving, I'm sure it's all wired up, but the power company's got to come run the feed from the transmission line or distribution up there down to here. That's what's going on. So we were here a couple weeks ago, and this was undisturbed. I made a point of saying this was undisturbed. As you can tell, it's plenty disturbed now, and it runs from where they're going to put that pole in right there, this way over to the transformer on the big green transformer where you even see the meter. So that's going to get wired up, and so they've probably wired from the transformer into the 2 cabinets. You can see the conduits are made connections. So
Right.
I can imagine that they're not done. So I would say all of this is done. Obviously not the paving.
Not the paving.
And the final
And the
landscape.
painting.
And the painting, but they're waiting on the Duke or whoever is going to install the feed back to the distribution line.
Well, they had a lot of rain to deal with last week, so maybe they'll make more progress this week. I could certainly see why there are a couple days last week they weren't out here. I'm also noticing it's 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D, 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D. You know, we've not used to seeing the number be more than twice, and here it's 4 times. Although these are 250, so you're not sharing like you are on the other ones. It's more just what stall are you at? What one are you having trouble with? They got to have some sort of an identifier.
Yeah, well, I would say they put 2 of these on a standard flatbed tractor trailer, so they were all labeled and stuff, I'm sure,
Before they sent them.
before they sent them.
So where are they making these? They making these in Buffalo?
Probably. That's one of the things they could certainly be making this in Buffalo.
Guess I'll
This stuff is being made in China. The Supercharger cabinets themselves, and that, well, maybe that's made in the U.S., but I think these are made in China now. Because they said something about a new factory in China has opened up. Tesla's got a new vendor making the Supercharger stuff, and that's part of the reason why all of a sudden we're getting this flood
of
Superchargers.
Yeah, for a while the installation was slowed down because there weren't enough pedestals. They were short on pedestals and stuff. Even if they could get permitting and other stuff done, they were short on this part.
They
So
just didn't have the stuff. Well, I mean, how many long did we go? And we would see the concrete slab, the concrete.
we'd wait for forever
And
for
they
the
wouldn't have
pedestals,
any-
weeks, months,
Yeah.
for the pedestals to show up when they were having that supply problem. Yep. All right, Jules, no charging for you today.
Yeah, well, you don't need any, Mom.
Got off 64 onto 15501 headed north. This is just before Pittsburgh, and we're headed to the new Durham Supercharger, also still under construction. Zeb's been really covering this for everyone because he doesn't live too far away, but we have time before Johnny's home and time before we need to start cooking dinner. So it's such a pretty day out here today. The sky is gorgeous. 18 miles, 30 minutes. I'll never let it be said that we haven't made it to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. This is officially in the last year our second trip to Chapel Hill. We were over here at the Walmart, which we just passed, looking for Hot Wheels one day. And I think we got ice cream at Meadowview Farms. But at any point, we're passing through, So I'm noticing there's an Outback 0.3 miles from the new Durham Supercharger. We're guessing it's just past the stoplight up there in that shopping center. There's a Kohl's here, a PetSmart, so it's kind of like a Cary Crossroads area. I'm just thinking, you know, Dawn would be able to unicycle. You know, we're always checking out, is this spot make it so that somebody on a last mile mobility device could drop their family off, plug in at the charger and go do stuff. Although the cars charge so fast now, you can hardly eat a meal anywhere without somebody having to move the car. All right, we're getting close. Home to Suites by Hilton, and I saw the PDQ is just over here to the right of that. You can probably, yeah. PDQ just made better. I want to think this wiring here could have something to do. I'd go this way. Has something to do with that fiber going in there. That orange tubing. That fiber.
Yeah, I don't think that's electrical.
Because it looks like apartments over here. There they are. Like Zeb said, literally right behind the PDQ. Well, this shopping center looks pretty crowded, so I'm going to wonder if this is going to work out as a good spot or not. Hopefully it is. Noticing those pedestals don't have numbers, and this is not a slab drop-in.
Yeah.
This is old school.
This old school, yeah. But they are 350.
250.
I'm sorry, excuse me, 250. But they're not open yet, huh?
I don't know. You can always try.
Yes, we
Sometimes they're usable, but not online. In the car.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah, you would think if they weren't, they don't have any numbers on the pedestals yet.
All right, the moment of truth. Do I push the button?
It ain't gonna work. Sorry. It looks so ready to go though. Good thing we don't actually need any juice. Yeah, well, hopefully this won't be a parking icing situation. I really prefer to see a less busy parking lot. This one looks very busy. There's two around the corner. Looks like maybe they're going to put in, I don't know, another light, or they had a light there and took it down on that round cement pedestal here.
I think they're going to put a light.
I think that's for a light. So 12. 12. So we're gonna have to make this trip one more time to charge when they're both open, to charge at them. Yep. One more time. Yeah, that's one of those superchargers that we probably would try to avoid, especially if it's like on a Friday night or a Saturday night, because that shopping center was really busy and it took us a good bit of time to get on and off the interstate, even though it's basically right at the interstate. So I guess if you're looking to go out to eat and push it up to 100% and try to, you know, just, you know, don't in no particular place to be, that'd be great. Or if you live nearby, that'll be great. I'm certainly glad Durham got a supercharger, but in our opinion, it was pretty busy over there at 4:45 on a Sunday afternoon. I wouldn't even want to be anywhere near there on a Friday or Saturday night. So
yeah,
if you need it, you need it. But
kind of like two superchargers in a row. This one, well, first of all, the one in Cary is not particularly useful because it's really not along I-40. It's great for us because we travel that way, but if you're coming up south on 95 and you get on 40 and you're heading that direction, the Cary supercharger really isn't convenient. And then this one isn't really convenient, and Burlington's not convenient, and really Greensboro's not convenient. So I would say that this stretch through here, you're going to have to pick your poison, and I think I like this one here in Durham a little bit, one notch better than the one in Burlington. I would rather go to this one because Burlington's a zoo, and at least when you get to this one, you've got fast food restaurants and places to eat, where that other one, you would think it's a shopping center and there would be places to eat, but they're not close. This is a serious walk.
Yeah, the cinema will let you use the restroom, and if you want popcorn, that's cool, but to walk around to like Cold Stone Creamery or something,
yeah,
it's a little bit of a hike.
Well, plus that's a creamery, that's ice cream.
Right, not food.
Not food. There's no McDonald's right there, there's no Burger, there's no travel food, there's, you know, and I don't even know if there's any sit-down restaurant type food. It's shopping is what it is.
Right, well this certainly goes along the I want to shop or eat while I supercharge plan. This one, if that's what you're looking for, you would rate this one really high.
Right. Yeah, well I like the PDQ. I mean, that would be my kind of food.
I don't think I've ever eaten it.
Well, I haven't either, but I'm that kind of, well, we don't eat it now, but when I travel, I don't want to go to a sit-down restaurant. I don't want to take any more time. I want to go in, tank up, or in this case supercharge, and grab me something to eat and get back to the car and watch Netflix or YouTube. And, you know, sitting in the atmosphere of the restaurant doesn't interest me in the least.
Right, I hit tap to cancel for Don. He really didn't want to try to change lanes, and he really couldn't change lanes anyway. Jules was just trying to move him to a faster lane, and he talked through that, so I canceled it for him.
Thank you. Well, I actually saw it.
Yeah, this is at exit 276, so to put it into perspective, we're coming up on 276. We were either at 272 or 270 Watkins Drive. To put it in perspective, IBM is at 291. Cary is getting closer to 287. These are real mile markers here. These numbers are actually our real miles. So this is like way out of the way for us. And we would literally have to be going to Greensboro, and we don't go to we would use Siler City. We would come in on, we would either stop in Greensboro or stop in Siler City, or stop at both if we wanted to use the facilities and get a drink. You know, Greensboro is 90 minutes from the house. Siler City's 45 minutes from the house. Yeah. So we would never hit this Durham or Burlington because we don't generally come in that way. Even when we go to like the Blue Ridge Parkway Drive and we're headed to the mountains, we go 421 to Greensboro from our personal house. So, but we'll come back and visit it when it's open. we'll try to bring Johnny. I'm sure he would enjoy PDQ.
They have a destination charger?
Not at that Smithfields. I was telling Don, I said the first time I come in from the zoo or someplace with Michelle and the kids and I can't eat at the Smithfields in Siler City and Supercharge at the same time, I'm going to be hot, let me tell you, because that's too far. I can't walk. I mean, I don't have a unicycle. I'm not going to longboard on US 64 down there. You know, that's just a little too, it's over, I'd say it's about a mile between the Smithfields and the Supercharger, so I'm going to be hot. Now the Smithfields, they've been putting in destination chargers like everywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess the owner owns a Tesla and is a fan and wants to be helpful, but not at that Smithfields, at least not yet, and probably not ever with the Supercharger a mile up the street. But that would have been good for me if Walmart and Tesla, you know, if there's no EA charger at that Walmart yet that we've seen, and we've been through that parking lot 3 or 4 times this year already. You know, the Walmart's right there behind the Smithfield. That would have been good for me, but it just didn't work out that way. I like the location, except for our Smithfields is too far from it. Well, we're not going to stop at the Cary Supercharger, but if we were, we're basically going past it right now.